we're going to give our predictions for who we think is going to win the Grand Prix this weekend. So looking at my prediction here, we've mentioned him a couple of other times on the podcast tonight, and I'm going to go with Will Power. 9 of the 11 races on the road course have been won by Chevys. We've talked about their dominance on the season. 5 of those 9 wins have been by Will Power. Will Power is having a resurgent season. In 2021, he finished 9th in points. It was his worst season as a full-time IndyCar driver as far as points go. He had 4 top 5 finishes all season. His only win was on the Indy road course last fall. In 2022, he was on the podium at St. Pete. He finished in the top 5 in all 4 races. And then Power has seen both his teammates have tremendous seasons so far, and it's time for him to get in on the action. So, he's been really strong this season. He goes to one of his strongest races on the schedule. And so for that, I got to go Will Power here. I think Will Power is going to get it done.
So before I give my pick for the GMR Grand Prix, right now they only have odds on the winner of the Indy 500. Jimmy Johnson is currently at plus 2,500. A simple $20 bet would pay out $520 to you. But as we get closer and everything, they'll start unlocking other options and everything, and those odds obviously will fluctuate. So yeah, for me, I'm going Will Power as well with the Grand Prix, because look, like I told you off air, Will Power is the only one that has yet to win for Penske this year, and he has been consistent. He's been up there. So I think he finally gets it done, coming into one of his favorite tracks that he's run very well at in the past. Obviously, he's won at in the past. So I think Will Power takes the checkered flag this weekend at the GMR Grand Prix.
Looking at dark horses for the race, B. Scott bullied me for my dark horse pick, but I'm still going to pick him anyway. And that's
okay. My dark horse pick is just about the same. just as equally like, is that really a dark horse?
It's for me, it's like it's not really a dark horse, but like it's not someone we've talked about like at all on the podcast so far as, a driver that's got a lot of momentum, or a driver that's, really standing out to us this year. It's, as far as this season goes, I would call him a dark horse. For me, it's Rinus VeeKay. He's last year's GMR Grand Prix winner. It's the only win of his career. So I think that kind of makes you a dark horse, right? If it's your only win, yeah. I mean, because you may not, who knows? I don't want to put that on the man, but, we hope that he can get that second win. He comes into Indy having won the pole and led most of the laps at Alabama. He finished 3rd. Earning his 4th podium of his career, and 2 of those 4 podium finishes have been on the IMS road course. He's finished in the top 5 in 3 of 4 races on the IndyCar or on the Indy road course. So he's run well on the road course. He won last year, and so I think you gotta factor him into potentially getting the win again this year, especially because for the longest time on the IMS road course, we had like the same drivers winning. I think it was alternating years for the first like 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 years that it was Pagenaud and Power. So I think VeeKay has a chance to get in on that now.
And here comes my dark horse, Simon Pagenaud.
Perfect segue. Teed it up for you.
Yeah, it's usually me doing that.
Yeah.
Look, Simon Pagenaud has had a lot of success at this track with 2 different teams. Now he's on his 3rd team, and this is a team that is typically pretty good on the road course at Indy, and their former driver used to be a dark horse in this, their former driver being Jack Harvey. Meyershank Racing, for some reason, just knows how to get the car ready for this race, for this road course. That's a really deadly combination, like in a good way, with Simon Pagenaud, who knows how to get around this track really, really, really well, no matter what kind of equipment he has or who he's racing for. So honestly, I would not be the least bit surprised to see Simon Pagenaud take the checkered flag. My gut says Will Power. My heart is telling me Simon Pagenaud.
I mean, that's a team that, I mean, you talk about.
That's a team that needs a good month.
Could use a turnaround. I mean, we talked about turnarounds earlier in the podcast. I mean, Elios had a rough go of it. Simon Pagino's, kind of towards the back.
This was a team that coming into this season, you go, okay, Meyer Shank Racing is for real. They put the money into it. They've got the drivers. Now it's time for them to go out and perform. And it's been kind of a dud. Now, granted, Elio got scooped up in a wreck at Texas. It happens. It's just, it hasn't been the best performances out of both of these guys. So it gets you wondering, did Penske make the right decision? Like, I guess he knew more than we all did about letting Simon Pagino walk, but I don't know. You're going to have those growing pains when you get to a new team and everything. But I think this is kind of this upcoming race is kind of what the doctor ordered for Simon Pagino and Meyer Shank Racing.
And I hope that they end up turning it around, because I know we talked about it at the beginning of the year. Like, this is a great team that they've put together, and they've got a lot of potential. And it's just
what would make them even better is if they were able to run a third car and they went out and got a young driver. Because what concerns me about them is they got some older drivers.
Yeah.
And you got to be looking to the future. If you're going to have that kind of veteran roster, it would be good to also have a young driver in there somewhere to learn from these guys. So that way, when the time comes, it's a seamless transition. I mean, look, that's what we're kind of seeing now with Penske. It's the changing of the guard a little bit. And, Scott McLaughlin and Joseph Newgarden are the young guns. I mean, can we really call Joseph Newgarden that anymore? But it's just kind of the way it should work a little bit. And we're seeing it in Ganassi. Scott Dixon, he's not running as well as he has in the past. He's still running consistent, but it's Alex Palou, the young guy, that is full steam ahead. So, and you saw that transition. You saw it was Dixon, and then all of a sudden, boom, Alex Palou. So I like it when teams do that. You see, and it works out really well. And that's why those teams that do that are the more consistent of your teams. But the teams that are also doing it also have a lot more money, so they're able to do that a little bit more.
Right.
I understand that there's sides to all the arguments.